The Rat has consistently been a great comp this set, and now he's back on top once again. In this video, I'll cover everything you need to know so you can climb playing Twitch carry. This is a slow roll comp that wins by getting Twitch 3-star, and we also go for 3-star Camille, Singed, and Ezreal as well. We will be slow rolling at level 5 with this board. Here we are running Twitch as our main carry, Echo to be an innovator and to give us 2 assassins, Singed and Ezreal are in there to be innovator units. Camille is in there to be our main tank, and she will also give us clockwork later. You will be slow rolling with this board until you hit at least Twitch 3-star. And your 3-star priority is Twitch, Camille, Singed, then Ezreal. You do not go for Zillion or Echo 3-star as we don't have the bench space, and it's unlikely to hit those 3-stars at level 5 as well. Once you hit Twitch 3-star, you want to level up to as far of a level as possible, but in most games, you will get to level 8 before you have to roll down again. At level 6, you play Zillion for clockwork and to give the crab more HP since he's an innovator. At level 7, you add in Warwick for 3 Chemtech and 2 challengers. At level 8, you add in Seraphine or Jace for 5 innovators. As you can tell, this is not flexible at all. Sometimes you can drop Warwick for something else at level 7, but we'll talk more about that later in the video. Twitch has 2 core items. They are Last Whisper and IE. Since he exclusively deals attack damage and has relatively low base AD, we need Last Whisper to shred armor of units so we can actually get through them. IE is also core to make sure we're always critting and shredding armor, in addition to always making sure we get value out of the extra damage from the assassin trait. The third item for Twitch wants to be Hurricane. This item gives us more base AD, and it works with the extra damage we get from our spell. Also, being able to attack multiple targets is huge when we jump into the backline, as Hurricane targets the second closest unit. This means that we're dealing damage to multiple enemy backliners at the same time. The difference between having these 3 items and not having them is pretty big, so chasing best in slot items with this comp is important. But some other third items that can work are Giant Slayer, QSS, Deathblade, Hodge, and BT. Like I said, you prefer Hurricane as the third item, but in TFT, we don't always get the perfect outcome, so keep in mind that slamming one of these as your third item will be better in some cases if you're low in HP or you're missing too many components for Hurricane. After we have itemized Twitch, we want to itemize either Camille or Echo. Which one you itemize depends on what items you get dropped naturally. Since Twitch is very item dependent, we always want to take items off of Carousel for him. Camille wants items like Bramble, Declaw, Warmog, Stoneplate, Redemption, Sunfire, and Titans. Echo wants AP or mana items like Deathcap, Frozen Heart, Morello, and Sojin. You make items for either of these whenever you can, as long as you aren't using up any components for Twitch. If you get a Spatula, the best emblem to make is Chemtech Spat. This allows you to play a better unit than Warwick at level 7, or you can just stick to 3 innovators and play 3 Chemtech at level 7 by taking out Zillion. Chemtech Camille will be the best unit to put this on. Assassin emblem can also work, and then you play 4 assassins over Warwick at level 7. In that case, you won't play Chemtech at all until you get to level 9. Assassin Ezreal will be the best in this case. The best augments to take for this comp are Ancient Archives to try and get Innovator Emblem and 5 innovators at level 6, any Backfoot, Calculated Loss, any Celestial Blessing, Challenger Unity, Chemtech Heart Emblem or Soul, Cutthroat, Featherweight, Innovator Heart Emblem or Soul, any Knife's Edge, any Phalanx, any Thrill of the Hunt, any Weak Spot, Chemtech Unity, any Makeshift Armor, any Meditation, Metabolic Accelerator, Trade Sector, or Golden Ticket. I mentioned a lot of augments there, and the S tier ones are Backfoot, Featherweight, Innovator Heart, Thrill of the Hunt, and Chemtech Unity. The carousel priority for this comp is Glove, Bow, Sword, then Cloak. Generally, it takes a bit of time for this comp to get online, as it really starts to shine once Twitch gets his 3 items. Therefore, we play for a loss streak most of the time in the early game, but if you get enough 2-stars early and good items to slam, you can sometimes win streak. The ideal opener for this comp is to have innovators and Twitch early. If not, you just want to open fort and focus on economy, as we will hyperroll a little at level 4 to hit our board. Once we have our opener, we need to make items, but since Twitch is very item dependent, we don't want to slam any of these that use up his components. Additionally, we play for a loss streak a lot of the time with this comp, so slamming items is rarely worth it, unless you're making items for Twitch. The goal during the early game is to get to round 3-1, which is right after Krugs, and have at least 50 gold or more while still being level 4. If you do not level in the early game, you'll be 8 out of 10 XP here, so never level in the early game when playing this comp, as we want to be as low level as possible for as long as possible. At level 4, on stage 3-1, you will roll down to 35 gold. From there, you can consider to keep rolling if you are 2 or less away from hitting Twitch or Camille 3-star. If you hit any of those 3-stars, it will allow you to win streak in stage 3, as long as your other units are at least 2-starred. But be careful, because you don't want to roll too deep. First roll to 35, then see how close you are to getting those 3 stars, and from there, either keep rolling or eco back up. Next turn, you will naturally level to 5, and our strategy changes a little from here. Once you are level 5 with 50 gold, we start slow rolling, meaning we roll down to 50 gold every single turn. This is to maximize our odds of hitting 3-star units. Our 3-star priority is Twitch, Camille, Singed, then Ezreal. But the most important ones are Twitch and Camille. You absolutely need Twitch 3-star, but you can stop there if you're really far away from Camille. It's important to always analyze how close you are to hitting each 3-star, and sometimes you can roll below 50 gold in order to hit 3 stars to continue the win streak. One thing to note is to hold Zilean, Warwick, and Seraphine if possible, as you will add those in at level 6, 7, and 8, but if you need to sell them for bench space for the other 3 stars, that's not an issue, just sell them off. Once you get to stage 4-2, that is usually the point where you have to roll down until you hit Twitch 3-star, as a lot of other players are power spiking during this stage. Of course, sometimes you can slow roll for longer than that if you have a lot of HP, but be aware that you will take a lot more damage here. Once you hit, it's time to start leveling up instead of rolling. Once you decide to stop slow rolling, we will level up to as high of a level as possible. This will be level 7 or 8 most of the time. This comp is very linear though, so there isn't too much to talk about here. At level 6 you add in Zilean for Clockwork and another Innovator. At level 7 you will add in a Chemtech Challenger unit which wants to be Warwick. At level 8 you will add in Seraphine or Jace for 5 Innovators. Replace Ezreal with Jace unless you 3-starred Ezreal. In that case you just don't play Seraphine. There aren't many things we can do with this comp besides cutting Warwick or Camille for 4 Assassins or 5 Chemtech if we get +1 of those, but since that won't happen most of the time, you will end up with this board 95% of the time at level 8. If you get contested, what you do depends a little on how you get contested. You can get contested by somebody else trying to play the same comp, or you can get partially contested by people playing another form of Innovators. If you get partially contested, it's not really a big deal as they won't be playing Camille or Twitch, so you can still hit those 3-star units. Therefore, we almost don't care about Singed or Ezreal 3-star as they will be harder to hit, but it is still very possible as 1 costs aren't that hard to play when partially contested. If you get contested by another reroll Twitch player, things aren't looking as bad as you'd think, but you have 2 options from there. The first one is to pivot, and the best pivots are to play either Innovator Irelia or Jhin, or you can pivot into VIP Draven if you didn't make Last Whisper yet. The other option is to contest. Generally this is not preferred, but if you already have a lot of the units, you can still play the comp. That's because there are 29 1-cost units in the pool, so you're still likely to hit the 3 stars, it will just take longer on average. General positioning with this comp looks like this. Here we have Echo positioned on the sides to not block the walking path of Twitch. We pull our frontline back to the 3rd row. This is to make the enemy frontliners walk down, making it more likely for our assassins to target the enemy backline as opposed to the enemy tanks. You want a tank on both sides of the bear to protect him a little. The bear gives our entire team more AD and AP, which is huge for increasing our damage output. Twitch is positioned in the middle. This is so he can land on the enemy backline Hex. This way he can hit multiple targets with a spell and deal insane amounts of damage. Now let's look at some in-depth examples. Against the first guy, the big threat is Renata. Twitch is jumping on the Victor. There is no way for him to hit both Renata and Victor with a spell, so we want him to land as close as possible so he will hit Renata after. Echo is jumping a little farther away to not take Twitch's landing spot. Warwick is positioned to get eaten by Tahm Kench. Singed is positioned to not throw Tahm Kench into our enemy backline, because we don't want Twitch to be eaten by him. Our team is also positioned away from Renata to make her get less value out of her spell. Against the second guy, the big threat is Malzahar. Twitch is jumping Malzahar, Singed is baiting out the Alistar to make him ult in the wrong direction. Our backline is clumped around Jace and Ezreal to help them deal with Kha'Zix. Since Alistar is going in the wrong way, we can also clump here without worry. Against the third guy, the big threat is Corki. Here we have Twitch jump next to the enemy backline to hit every single one of them with his spell. Our frontline is on the 1st row to make sure none of the enemy units walk up, and to make sure they actually get hit by Twitch's spell. The bear is positioned to not get hit by Ziggs or Corki, making him stay alive longer. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what video you want me to make next, and if you want to get better at TFT, join the Discord. We got over 7,000 other players there who are hungry to climb. And if you want to get coached by me, the information is over on the Discord server as well. So take care and see you in the next video.